All right, y'all. Let's do a full tutorial on truffle pigs. This is my latest game I made. Mint 10 game. Comes in a nice small package. Give me some tokens in here and then just a little bit of cards. We have inside is the rule book. The rule book there. We'll set that aside. We have the playing cards, which are all going to have the truffle pigs back on them. You shuffle those up. Put those to the side for now. And we have the player guide cards. If there's a new player, you can give them one of these cards. So this lists all the cards in the game. The paw symbol tells you if they're a creature or not. That's relevant to one of the abilities. Then I'll call it the power level. Starting the werewolf, it has the highest at number 9, and then goes all the way down to 0 for the deer. And then in parentheses is how many are actually in the deck of cards. So most cards have 1 copy in the deck. Some have 2. Truffle Pigs has 6. They have the most cards in the deck. And it reminds you how to set up the game, what happens and how the round ends. And then a summary of all the abilities on there. Won't worry about that right now. Okay, so how you start the game. First, you gotta set up the tokens. Now there are truffle tokens, hex tokens, looks like a little carved acorn. And there's a gem token. Okay, how this works is there's going to be 7 truffles every round. You play 3 rounds. There'll be 7 truffles, 3 hexes, and 1 gem. Okay, we have them all out there in the center. Everybody can reach them. You flip them all over and you hide them. Mix them up. Okay. Put these away for now. We'll call this the supply. This is where you'll have tokens for the next rounds. And then sometimes characters and their abilities will win tokens from the supply and not here from the center. I call that. Okay. So the game's pretty simple. We're going to start with a deck of cards. 1 card is burned. Okay, you can just put that here. Nobody's going to know what that card is. And the rest of the cards will get played through the round. So let's set up for 3 players. Everybody just gets 1 card. Now I set it up for y'all. You can see 3 different players. Okay, I should mention before we get started, the goal of the game is to earn truffles. Those are worth 1 point. Gems are actually worth 2 points, so those are good. Hexes are bad, okay? The person with the most hexes at the end of the game loses 2 points total. Now, if there's a tie in hexes, let's say you get to the end of the game, the end of 3 rounds, and 2 people have 2 hexes, then they both lose 1 point. So ties for hexes means only minus 1 point for each player that's tied. Now, there's also a curse victory, which I'll explain at the end of the video, how that can work. Okay? All right. So it's really simple. On a player's turn, they're already going to have 1 card hidden. They're allowed to look at it, but they don't show it to other players. Okay, unless there's an ability that does that. So on their turn, they're just going to draw 1 card and then look at their 2 cards without showing anyone and decide between one of the 2 cards to play and activate its ability. We're going to do the deer, which isn't too exciting right now, but you get a nice little bonus if you survive to the end of the round and you've played a deer. You might be able to get a leftover truffle out there if there's still any left. Okay, second player's turn. They have a werewolf and a deer. They're going to play the deer face up. Okay, third player. Whoa, 2 truffle pigs. Okay, truffle pig is kind of the meat and potatoes of the game. So the truffle pig can look at up to 2 tokens, or reveal 2 tokens out here in the center. Now, if they reveal a hex on their first token, let's see if we can find one here. Just cheating here. Okay, let's say it's their first pick. They reveal one, it's a hex. They stop and it goes to the next player. They do not have to take the hex. Let's say they reveal a truffle. They take it and put it on their card that found it. Okay, so that's a truffle they've earned this round. They can push their luck and reveal another token, and if it's a truffle or a gem, that's great. They get to keep both. Put them on their pig card. If, however, let's say they revealed a truffle and they decide to push their luck on their second flip over, if that's a hex, then they're punished and they have to keep the hex, okay? Otherwise, again, if it's the hex is revealed first, just leave it out there and you're done. Next person's turn. Okay, let's talk about how the round ends. And I fast forward the game here. We'll pretend there's still 3 players, a player here, and a player here. Now the round ends in one of 2 ways. If you get to the end of the deck and a player draws the last card, and then they look at it, and then they play that one card, play its ability, okay, it's going to be the end of the round, and there's one final thing that's going to happen. And that's called the final reveal. So everybody still has 1 card left after that last card was played from the deck. And everybody's going to do a final reveal where you all throw your cards out here in the center. And there's 2 special cards that at the end of the round have certain abilities that activate. And that's the Pig Keeper and the Werewolf. The Pig Keeper, you want to keep him to the end of the round and keep him a secret. You do not want to play this. If you have to play this card for some reason and discard it face up like this any time in the round, you're going to be knocked out of the round. So you want to keep this to the final reveal, and if you do, and there's still other players left in the round, you get to take a truffle from any one of their pigs that has found a truffle. So these players both have a pig that found a truffle. Okay, just from one pig. Okay, so this is a big bonus if you can keep the Pig Keeper to the end of the round. Now, let's say the player instead had the Werewolf as their final reveal, this center player. They could play that, and I should note at the end of the round, you want to have the highest power card you can, because the highest number card will win a truffle from the supply. So the Werewolf did win a truffle from the supply, but the Werewolf is punished actually for keeping this card to the final reveal. And if there's revealed hexes, which means out in the center here, if there's hexes that are face up, and this can happen from people turning them over or other card abilities, if there's revealed hexes at the end of the round and you have the Werewolf as your final reveal, yes, you do win a hex, or you do win a truffle, but you also have to take the revealed hexes. So in a way, you're punished for keeping the Werewolf that long. The Werewolf's true power comes from trying to eliminate players, guessing what card they have earlier in the round. And if you get it right and they had a pig that found a truffle, like this, you would get to take that truffle, put it on the Werewolf card. Okay, so let's say the first round just ended. The players keep their tokens that they won, hexes, gems, or truffles. They get to keep those. Okay, now we're going to bring in a whole new set. Remember, 7 truffles, 3 hexes, 1 gem. They all get flipped over again and hidden. And you start a new round just like you would the first round. Okay, and you play a total of 3 of these rounds. And whoever has the most points at the end wins. Okay, the deck's been shuffled. You burn a card. Nobody gets to see what that is. Okay, everybody gets 1 card. And if you're going clockwise in a circle, I would say you choose clockwise. Whoever started first, you go to the next person clockwise from them, and they would start first. Okay, and then you just go pick 1 card, and then you play one of your 2 cards and go from there. Okay, now let's talk about the alternate kind of dark victory called hex victory. I'm going to fast forward the game to the end of the 3rd round. All right, let's say this is the end of the third round. Here are the 3 players' total tokens. And something unique has happened in this game is that all 9 hexes have been taken throughout the 3 rounds. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tokens. If all 9 tokens have been taken, hex tokens, the person who has the most hexes actually wins the game, regardless of gems or truffles. Okay, this is the hex victory. So, if you're getting unlucky, you're getting piled up with hexes, people are giving you hexes, you can change strategies and try and gain the hexes using stuff like the werewolf card, which is familiar. Give yourself hexes and try and get the most, but also make sure all the hexes get taken. And if they do, then you win. So it's kind of a difficult alternate victory that can happen. Otherwise, whoever has the most points wins. And I can show y'all, let's say it was just a 2-player game. You tally up the points here: 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now this player would win because they both have a tie in hexes, which means they only lose 1 point, or you could say 1 truffle, so it'd be 7-5. If there was a imbalance in truffles, okay, so this player would lose 2 points, which is equivalent to their gem being gone. So now they'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. This player would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. Okay, and this doesn't matter because they didn't have the most hexes. So there'd be a tie in that case. There you go. That is Truffle Pigs. It's pretty simple to play. I hope you all get to play it with your friends. I'll do another video where I go in depth about each of the cards and their abilities, and maybe give some tips and strategic advice. But I hope y'all try out the game. I think it's really fun. It is a great game for taking out of the house, playing at a coffee shop, restaurant, brewery. Uh, and people that aren't board gamers can definitely get involved, and they learn pretty quickly. And you can always do a practice round where you let everybody reveal their cards. They can ask questions, and you can give suggestions on what cards to play when. And yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. I hope you all enjoy it with your friends.